because today, hopefully you all are ready for a quick and simple show, because that's what I promised you guys yesterday, being that the schedule, or the NFL schedule release, is at 7. So today, all we're really going to talk about is the games that you all probably woke up to, which was the Week 1 slate of games, okay? That's all we're going to talk about, all right? Now, another thing to kind of note briefly before we get really started is that about 20-30 minutes ago, I got an update on Twitter saying that the Packers did sign quarterback Blake Bortles. Now, this can mean two things. This is absolutely big news, okay? This can mean that, A, they just don't trust Jordan Love at all in that backfield, and they don't want him to take the field, so they need a solid backup for Rodgers. Or B, Rodgers' time is up in Green Bay. It is what it is. There's two scenarios, okay? He's either a backup or he's taking over the job and they're shipping Rodgers somewhere that we don't know. But hey, that's news for another time. Today, like I said, all Week 1 games that we're going to be talking about is all we're going to be talking about. Now, once again, we are looking to get my merchandise store up and running, and hopefully we're going to have that done for sure by next Monday. I'm going to work again this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to get that posted and ready for you guys, because really haven't had too much time these past couple days doing that. But hey, it's going to be up. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? Well, like I said, Week 1 games, okay? So we're going to start right off the bat, okay, with a kickoff game that is on Thursday Night Football. And this is going to be between the Dallas Cowboys, who are going to be at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is awesome. Okay, I like this. Former Super Bowl, or I guess past Super Bowl champions, last year champion Buccaneers are going to be there. And really what that gives us is, do the Buccaneers, continue to win? Do they continue their win streak? They did it all through the playoffs, won the Super Bowl. Now, do they step off on the right foot where they left off, kind of thing, okay? And this also gives us a chance to see what Dak has, Week 1. Is he ready to play some football? Is he worth the money or that he wants and that he thinks that he's deserved? That's going to be big. So that's Thursday night's game, okay? So now we're going to shift over to Sunday's games. Now we're going to do the noon games first. Now all the games will start at 12 p.m. Central Time, or a lot of them will say 1 Eastern Time, which is, obviously noon here in Central Time. But for the first game, there's a couple games, but we're just going to go kind of in order or whatever. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons. This is this is a nice game. I'm excited for both Jalen Hurts. Hopefully he gets that, the starting job. He definitely should out there in Philadelphia. And then he gets to pair up with Devontae Smith. Now I got proven wrong by John. I thought it was always Devonta, but it is Devontae. But I'm excited to see how much chemistry they have. They did play together briefly in Alabama a little bit. I don't think Devontae was really a piece at that time, but they did play together. Obviously, they had practice together, so they have something going there, okay? And then the other thing that I'm really excited now is for tight end Kyle Pitts, okay? Now, take in mind, Kyle Pitts going out of this draft was the highest drafted tight end in the common draft era in the NFL. Absolutely ridiculous. So they have high hopes for this guy. Who knows if he's to play wide receiver, tight end? What are they going to do with him? Who knows? Just know he's going to be a force. And I can't wait for this Week 1. He gets a really good team. Not a tough team necessarily, but a decent enough team where he can slowly get going, okay? And then, this is a big time, or for both teams really, that they need a big turnaround season, okay? The last couple years haven't been what they want. So this is a big turnaround year. So this is a really good starting point for these teams. Okay, then we go, and we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be defense versus defense. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, what about the Bills' offense? Don't get me wrong. They got a really good offense, but that Pittsburgh Steelers defense is too prominent to the point where I don't think, the Bills are just going to steamroll them unless some miraculous way the Pittsburgh Steelers defense just lays an egg. But I don't see that happen, okay? But I'm really excited to see Najee Harris on the Pittsburgh's offensive side of things, see what he is really capable of, especially with him going in there, having that starting role pretty much right from the get-go. I think they have Benny Snell still over there, and he has played a little bit. So, I'm excited to see Najee Harris get to work right away off the bat against a really, really good team. And then also you got Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen. Absolutely, it's going to be so exciting to watch those two play. The chemistry is obviously there. And then, last year they left off on a bad foot. Cole Beasley played with a broken leg, apparently. And then Stephon Diggs played with, I don't even know what, something was torn or something with him, and he played through it, and they still didn't get it done. Now that makes you wonder, if they did get it done, could they do it in the Super Bowl? Probably not, but hey, it's how the cookie crumbles, so they're looking to be hungry, or come back hungry, and punch the Steelers in the mouth, really. That's all it comes down to. Okay, then you got another game. The New York Jets are going to the Carolina Panthers. This is awesome. Okay, Sam Darnold gets his revenge game right off the back. And I wouldn't necessarily say revenge necessarily, because he didn't really, start off on the right foot there. I mean, you can't expect the guy to be the turnaround of your franchise when you have nothing around him. And that's what happened to Sam Darnold. Well, that's what happened to really every quarterback that went to the Jets. They don't have any weapons. They have nobody to really play around. So it's really hard to succeed there. So Sam Darnold is he's at the Carolina Panthers. He's going to go, or not really go. He's going to stay at home, and he's going to have the Jets come to him, and he's going to say, look what you could have had if you would have gave me weapons, because Carolina's got weapons, and they surrounded Sam Darnold with those weapons. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's in the backfield. Can you guys tell me who the Jets running back is? Exactly. It's going to be a tough week for the Jets. I mean, Zach Wilson, good luck, buddy. I mean, just good luck. But at the same time, Zach Wilson, it's going to be really interesting to see what he's about, what he's capable of. Can he help this Jets team out enough where, they're not going to do any worse than last year, but they could win, probably 3 games or something like that. If he does that, they might be on the right track, but again, you need to get him pieces, and they need to do it fast. Other than that, kind of a dud game, except for you get to watch Sam Darnold go and pick apart his old team and show how bad of a coach probably Adam Gase is. So off of that, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now with Joe Burrow back, this is going to be a really, really fun game, okay? Really gruesome injury last year. Took a lot of risks, more than he should have, but that's going to come with a rookie, okay? He's going to come in this year too, and he's going to be a lot more aware of his surroundings, a lot more aware of what to do, and be smarter with the ball. And it's going to be really interesting, and it's going to be fun to kind of watch him to see what he does, and is he going to be nervous stepping on the field? Because we've seen AP, we've seen Teddy right away. That wasn't, well, I guess not AP, excuse me, take that off the name. Dude almost broke the rushing yard. God, I got an eyelash, I think, poking me in the eyeball, and it fucking sucks. But AP almost did that. But what was I talking about? But we've seen Teddy Bridgewater come back, really nervous, didn't do so hot, okay? But I think Joe Burrow's a little different. Obviously winning a national title, going in there and proving everybody wrong, ridiculous. He's going to come back, and it's going to be really fun to watch him and see just how well, him, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase really pair up. It's going to be really interesting to see that. And then also, will Justin Jefferson pick up where he left off last year? Okay, we've seen that 1,400-yard season. I think he's going to be that main receiver. Obviously, with Thielen there, you're not going to be 100% the main guy. But last year, I think it was pretty evident that Justin Jefferson was that guy, was our main guy, and was the wide receiver one, even though he didn't play that position or wasn't in that depth chart per se. So I think Justin Jefferson, in my eyes, is going to start off right where he left off. But it's really up to him, kind of where he goes from there. He's a Cincinnati Bengals team. Really don't have shit, really, on the defensive side of things. So, it's going to be one of those battles. Do we get to see, if we ended up throwing it down, and scoring a lot of points, do we get to see Kellen Mond come in? Probably not. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't think Kellen Mond is here to start at all. Rick Spielman already told Kirk Cousins and Kirk Cousins' agent that he's the guy. So don't worry about that. He's the guy for now. We owe him too much money. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, don't expect too much. But it should be a good game. It should be a really fun game, hard-fought game. I do think the Vikings should come away victorious, obviously with, how the Bengals left off last year and kind of what they're still coming to. But, we really don't know. This could be Vikings go 0-16, and we don't know it yet. We think they go, to the playoffs. But hopefully that doesn't happen, obviously. But I think the Vikings should take this one. Okay, and then another noon game. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Detroit Lions. Okay, Jared Goff gets to go play his old division rival that he had played twice a year. It's going to be pretty fun, okay? He knows a lot about this team. I think it's going to give the Lions a little upside just to kind of know, to know what their schemes are and just a little bit of how they line up on defense, stuff like that. That's going to help the Lions out a little bit, all right? But at the same time, Trey Lance or Jimmy. Because, Goff can help you a little bit on Garoppolo, but he can't help you on Trey Lance. He's never played against Trey Lance. Trey Lance has never played an NFL game, so if Trey Lance starts, who knows what could happen. I mean, the Niners really have everything they need on defense. Their wide receiver crew's a little, it's there, but it's really not hit and miss. But their tight end, George Kittle, absolute stud. Then you got the running backs, absolute freaks of nature back there, fast as shit. They just go get the job done. Raheem Mostert, awesome running back. Okay, so really, what this is like, what this game is going to show us is, are the 49ers the same old team that we've seen the past couple of years, or do they actually have a passing attack finally? And I think we're going to see that if Trey Lance starts. Okay, Trey Lance is mobile. He can run on his feet if he needs to, which also gives him the ability to pass, which he's very, very good at. Okay, 1 interception in 2 years. I mean, what do you want me to say? Guy's a G. Okay, he's really, really good. So it's gonna be a pretty solid game. Not the greatest game to watch, but it's gonna be a good game, especially with the draft picks for the Lions. You got Penny Sewell over there. He's he had COVID. I guess he announced yesterday, but he's obviously gonna be back for week 1. We got a long time. It is May, so hey. We got plenty of time, obviously. Then for another noon game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. Texans. Okay, Trevor Lawrence versus Deshaun Watson. Hopefully, anyways. That's. I haven't really heard too much more on that whole scenario, but those two going at it. Okay, it's gonna be awesome. You got Travis Etienne in that backfield with James Robinson. You got and I did mention that I thought D.D. Westbrook was on their team last week. He is not. He's currently a free agent. But, I mean, hey, they still got, what's his name? Oh, my God. DJ Chark. Very, very good. Okay, at least in my eyes, he's a very good receiver. Tyler Eifert at the tight end. They got pieces. It's just up to Trevor Lawrence to see what he can really do with those pieces. Because I think their defense is on the right track with Myles Jack and those guys. But at the same time, I mean, it's the same old Jags. You can't really expect too much, but if they go somewhere like they did a couple years ago in the AFC Championship game, you're like, oh, all right, hell yeah. But this is going to be awesome to see what Trevor Lawrence actually has, what ability Trevor Lawrence actually has coming into the NFL, and if he can actually play at a high level on a not-so-good team. Okay, but I do think for this game, the Jags do have a huge chance to win this. As hard as it is to say, I really do think the Jaguars could slip away with this one. I mean, the Texans don't have anybody. They have no stars. Deshaun Watson's literally the only guy they have. Okay? And if he doesn't start, they're definitely not going to win this game. They're going to have a really, really bad year. And so all I really got to say about that is Houston, we got a problem. Okay? And they're in trouble. They're in big trouble if they can't figure some stuff out. So another noon game. Seattle Seahawks at the Indianapolis Colts. Now we got Carson Wentz finally on a different team. He's back with Frank Reich as the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Was his quarterback coach in Philadelphia. So this is going to be interesting. Can he, go away from all those mistakes, all those interceptions, and come fresh, start brand new, and go back to that MVP type of season that he once had? That's what we're looking for. Carson Wentz, this is going to be a big, big show out for him. Okay, he's got a big backfield. He's got a really, really good offensive line. They just signed Eric Fisher yesterday, who was a really big addition from the Chiefs. So they got the pieces. But for the Seattle Seahawks, does Russell Wilson let those off-season shenanigans, and by shenanigans I mean all those trade rumors kind of try to get me out of here, get me protection, and stuff like that, does he let that get in the way? I don't think so. He's a really not close my eye. He's a really good and in control of his emotion kind of guy. He doesn't let that stuff get to him. Once it's football season, he's going to go out there and he's going to perform, whether that is really, really good or whether that's really, really bad. He's just going to go out there and do it. We've seen last year he put on those MVP stats and then fell off the radar. Didn't have anything. So, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with that whole, scenario, how their defense is going to be. Okay? So, not a really good game to watch. It's a solid game. I mean, you got DK Metcalf, who's fast, looking to see what he can do, especially with all the work he's done this offseason. But really, mainly, it's all about the Colts. What are the Colts going to do with Carson Wentz going forward? Okay, so that's what you got to watch there. And then another noon game, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Tennessee Titans. Now, the newly stacked Cardinals are looking to take a team out, okay, who's been in the playoffs the past 2 years. This is something the Cardinals need right off the bat. This is a true test to see if they're actually about it or not. They went and they loaded up. Okay, today actually they did allow Jordan Hicks, one of their linebackers, to look for a trade partner, but that's besides the point. Okay, they're looking to make a statement right away. DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, Kyler Murray, Isaiah Simmons, Chandler Jones. I mean, list goes on and on and on. James Conner's there now. Like, these guys got what it takes. They did it in the offseason, and if it's not now, it's probably going to be in the next couple of years. But this is a big game. They need to come out here and they need to smack the Tennessee Titans in the mouth, and they need to get a dub. But on the other hand, just be ready for Derrick Henry. Because if that man gets going, you're not going to stop him. Okay? And that's the one thing I'm a little worried about with the Arizona Cardinals. Are they going to be too worried about, how am I going to put this? Are they going to be worried too much about getting to the backfield quickly and not really worrying about where the personnel are necessarily? Like, are they going to be too gun happy, or I don't know how you say it, but too happy, just too quick off, too excited off the ball? That's what I'm worried about. So just be ready for Derrick Henry, because if they stop Derrick Henry, Cardinals have a really, really good chance of winning this game. I'd be ready to watch this one. This one's going to be a very, very good battle. Now, another game, noon game, Los Angeles Chargers at the Washington football team. These teams really haven't done a whole lot more, okay? They just went and got what they needed. Some depth pieces, some reliable rookies, if that. Now, this is going to be Justin Herbert, okay? Coming into this season, he had a really good, year last year, Pepsi Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, did his thing. But coming into this one, this is going to be a very tough test. And the reason I say that is all because of defense. And that's Washington's defense. Okay, Washington's defense is going to be the reason that will win them this game. I don't think the Chargers are going to win this game. Mainly because of last year, they were in all of them, but they lost a lot of them by one possession. Okay? So, with how good and how consistent and all that chemistry that has been built up there in Washington with that defense, I don't think they're going to be able to beat Washington. Unless, like I said, quarterback play depends so much on how this game plays out. Justin Herbert has to find his receivers and has to make smart choices. But on the other hand, you got Ryan Fitzpatrick or Taylor Heineke. Who knows? But who's going to be the better player? And then it goes down to your defense. Because obviously the Chargers have a really good defense. Derwin James is going to be back. Joey Bosa's there. Melvin Ingram is there. So they got pieces, okay? But I do think Ryan Fitzpatrick might be the better quarterback just because from my memory and from just watching him throughout the past couple of years, he always starts off pretty decent. Okay, everyone's like Fitzmagic right now. He's back on the map, blah blah. He's always really, really good right away. Okay, so I have thrown up probably 2 touchdowns, going about 175 to 200 yards passing this game. It's going to be a really good game, but I do think Washington's going to pull away just because of their defense. So those are all the noon games, quite a few, okay? Now we're going to talk a little bit about the Sunday afternoon games. These games start at about 3:25, usually about 3:30, depending on all the anthem and stuff like that. But, hey, the first one, right off the bat, this one is the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, going to be a game you need to witness. I don't care. After the Vikings, go to this game, watch them if you're a Minnesota fan. I don't care if any of your teams play at this 3:30, please flip back and forth because this is going to be a game you need to watch and you need to pay attention to. Okay? This is going to be a battle to the very end. The Chiefs weren't able to keep a lot of their offensive linemen, but were able to go out in free agency and pull a lot of. He's still there. Obviously still a threat in this league. Okay? Their defense, nothing's missing. Okay? They just got to go out there and they got to perform consistently, week in and week out. But you look at Cleveland. What does that mean? It probably doesn't mean too much, but it means a lot because it is a Kansas City Chiefs. It is an AFC rival, a team that went to the Super Bowl back-to-back years, a team that the Browns need to beat in order to get to that next step, in order to get to a Super Bowl. This is a big test, especially with going to get Jadeveon Clowney to add to that defensive line. Okay, you still have OBJ who's going to be back healthy. You got Baker Mayfield looking to improve even more than he has from last year or from 2 years ago. Okay, really, really big test. This is going to be a very, very good game. Battle to the end. I don't think it's going to be a blowout unless the Browns defense for some reason just doesn't do anything, but they have a lot of good young corners and a solid secondary, solid linebacker crews. Way too good of a defensive line. These guys are the real deal. So this is a big test for the Cleveland Browns. So I'm very excited for this one because I don't know which way it could go because it could go either way. But hopefully it goes in favor of the Browns because I need to see them win this game with all those weapons they got. Otherwise, it's just like, really? Again? Like just loading up for nothing? But hey, if they lose, it's only 1 week. So if they lose, they lose. It's not a big deal, but it is a team that's been to back-to-back Super Bowls. So then another game at 3:30 would be the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. We get a chance to see former teammates at Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa, go against probably Mac Jones. If Mac Jones gets to start, probably won't. And if he does, awesome. Okay, I think Cam Newton might have that just because of all the work he's put in within the past couple, year or within the past year. And Bill was always praising him and stuff like that. But really, it just gives us a chance to see those two go at it if they get the start. And also it gives the Patriots a chance to show if all those free agency moves, I mean, they made a lot of them, if they actually pay off. Okay, that's going to be a really, really big test as well for them. Now, pieces, they got Jalen Waddell this year. Devontae Parker's still there. They got a good defense. So they're there, okay? They're on that breaking point of being really good for another couple years, okay? So be ready for this. Miami's defense is going to be a really, really big factor in whether they win or lose this game, okay? As much as that offense probably will be stagnant, I do think it's going to move a little bit better than last year. But that defense is a big piece, and they have a lot of good, solid pieces to that defense. So be ready for that game. And then for the second best game of the night that you have to probably watch, and I know it's at the same time as the Browns and Chiefs game, but it's the Packers going over to the New Orleans Saints, okay? Honestly, like I said, second best game, okay? And as of now, we don't 100% know if Rodgers is the quarterback going forward, because like I said, they just signed Blake Bortles about an hour ago. So you never know what is going to happen there. But if he is, watch out. We've seen Aaron Rodgers do something with nothing, and he has something over there. They just got Amari Rodgers, wide receiver from Clemson, who looks really, really good. But now he just has to translate his game from the college to the NFL level, and they're going to be really solid. And they got Devontae Adams still there, A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones in their backfield. Really, solid offensive line with David Bakhtiari there, and then you got their defense. Defense is this close from being where they need to be, a corner away probably. Okay. Now, on the other hand, if it isn't Aaron Rodgers, oofda. I don't even know what to think about that. Because so many, you don't know who you're going to get for Rodgers. We'll probably get to that if he does get traded. We'll probably come back to this game and we'll reevaluate it. But if he's not the quarterback at that game, could be in trouble. Who knows? But then on the other hand, you have the Saints. If Jameis Winston ends up being a starter, which please, I hope he is, I'd expect it to be a really tough fought game. Especially with that LASIK, if it's as good as he says it is and as good as people think it is. Watch out, okay? Different playbook, different style. He's under Sean Payton, where Drew Brees left off. He had a whole year to learn, and is going to come in here hungry. He was a former number 1 overall pick. Who wouldn't be hungry and if you lost your job? So be ready for that. Both teams honestly could take this game. It all really just depends on if Rodgers stays or not. If Rodgers is not there, it's going to be really, really tough for Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields. Because if it's Justin Fields, we're in for a show. There's 5 rookies this year that could potentially start week 1. That'd be crazy. We'd have a lot of stories right off the bat. Can this guy do this? Can this guy do that? Blah, blah, blah. But if Justin Fields is the guy, we could be in for a fun game. Because we know the Rams have a really good defense. We know the Bears have a really good defense. We know the Rams have an okay offense. They got Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, okay? And Tyler Higbee as their tight end. But the Bears, they got Allen Robinson. And I think Anthony Miller was that guy too. And then, their tight end, who was that? He was all right? So it's going to be a battle. I think they're both 2 similar teams. But at the same time, the Rams probably will, get the victory. They'll probably win over the Bears. And mainly it's probably because I think that defense will outplay the Bears' defense. And at the same time, I do think with that veteran experience of Matthew Stafford, and if Justin Fields start without veteran experience, I think Matthew Stafford's will, overcome it and overpower it. And the Rams walk away victorious. Bears start 0-1. Good thing for the Vikes, huh? But, yeah, that game, really, that's all you really need to know for Sunday night. But now, the last game of Week 1 is Monday Night Football, obviously. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, not too much of an exciting game, for prime time. Granted, it is Lamar Jackson, and we get to see what he's about once again. Obviously, he's probably not going to change too much. The guy can do both, pass and run. But really what we're looking forward to is seeing if that passing attack comes back or comes to fruition, okay? Because that is going to be a big thing going forward this season. If that passing attack is not there, they're going to be in trouble for a lot of games. But if it is there, they're going to win a lot of games and be, in that playoff picture towards the end of the year. So that's really what this game is also really about. Also it gets to see if all those weird and stupid-ass moves the Raiders did actually make any fucking sense. Because they got rid of everybody. And if it doesn't work out, they could be in a very scary place. Very, very scary place if they got rid of the wrong, the right people and signed the wrong people. Be a very bad situation. Say something about it, that's what it is. But it is the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium, so that's probably the highlight of it. They are opening, a club there, obviously, embracing what the city is about. And who knows, maybe that'll get bumping, they'll sell a lot of tickets, and it might be one hell of a primetime Monday Night Football game. You never know. But hey, we're in for a very, very good long season, and I'm very excited. So that is going to do it for the day, as now we're really patiently just going to wait for that NFL schedule release show, which is going to start again at 7, so in about 30 minutes here, 20 minutes, something like that. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and like I wanted, we kept it short, sweet, simple, and just got you in and out, all right? So, hey, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 once again, and you just got your fix with the Wicks. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the schedule.